Thank you, Madam Speaker. I, too, join my Central Valley colleagues in rising against this bill, AB 1739. It has billions of dollars in new fees to implementation of groundwater management plans that meet the standards of this bill, and it gives the State Water Department of Resources full control and regulatory authority over our groundwater use and its basins. The Central Valley has managed their groundwater plans and has groundwater plans in effect, and they've invested millions upon millions of dollars to make sure that their basins are accessible, especially when, like my colleague from Fresno said, that we don't get water from the State Water Project. We pay for that water as growers and farmers to grow the food that not only you but your constituents eat. So we pay for, our farmers and growers pay for their full price for the water that's supposed to be delivered to them by the State Water Project. It's like going to the grocery store and paying $100 for groceries and walking out with nothing. Because over the last couple of years, we've gotten nothing in the Central Valley, a zero water allocation or a next to nothing. I think it went to 5% last year to grow the food that your constituents eat. I recently did a video process out with some of our farmers, and this farmer grows little mandarins, and if it's sold by one company, they're called cuties, and it's sold by another company, they're called halos. That's a marketing issue. But I looked at this field, and laid before us were all these mandarin trees, miniature mandarin trees that were uprooted and laid on their side, and they're waiting for a wood chipper to come and pick up these trees. And the thing is that he said that the reason why he had to fallow that land is because he didn't have water, and he was waiting. He was the 6th person in line to access groundwater basins and to drill a hole. He had other crops that were being taken care of by the groundwater that they'd been accessing, but he had to pay additional millions of dollars to be able to pump that water from the groundwater basin into the field in order to save the crops for the food that you and I and our constituents eat every day. Kern County is second only to Fresno in the agricultural industry in the agricultural district, and we feed this nation and parts of the world. There are fallowed grounds, there's dead almond trees, and the idea that we've been able to survive or barely survive this 7-year drought, we're probably in our 3rd year of a 7-year drought, is because we've been able to access our groundwater. We know that we have basin issues, and we know that we're addressing those issues, and we've already invested millions of dollars throughout the Central Valley in order to pay for that, in order to manage that groundwater. This, colleagues, I see really as a regulatory take. You can't get the surface water, and you're going to be able to give the same control of the State Water Resources Board to the people who control the surface water, who have mismanaged that water for years, which have put us in this situation. It's not just the drought, it's poor water policy in the past for lack of storage, which this body came together and addressed with the water bond. There hasn't been significant time together with everybody to have all the stakeholders, the growers, the producers, the consumers, to the end users, to come together and get good water policy to address this issue. So I join my colleagues in the Central Valley, and I would ask that you would vote no on this bill. And I ask you to think about 3 things, 3 questions. 1, why would we give control of our water basins to the people who have been in charge of our surface water and fouled it up so much? And 2, what civilized society destroys its own food source? I mean, think about that for a second. We produce more agricultural products in the state of California than almost any other state in the nation. And we're going to destroy our own food source by lack of water and controlling that water. And why on God's green earth would we give environmentalists control over our groundwater, and they don't want to let us grow food in the first place? It's a sad place to be, and I would ask that everybody just put this on hold, wait, come together. We had logical heads come with the Central Valley representatives, you know, with and I don't know where he's from, and point of personal privilege, Mr. Gray and Mr. Perea, and all of them coming together to work out the water bond deals with the people on the north side of the state, and making that a successful thing where it went off this floor with a full bipartisan vote. And I would ask you to do the same thing with the groundwater basin issue, because this is a very serious issue. That farmer that I just told you about that uprooted all those mandarin trees,
30
I asked him a
seconds.
question, and I said, if you got water today, how long would it take you to produce these trees to put baby cuties or halos back in the lunch boxes of our kids? And he said 7 years. So we're already far behind because of the water crisis. I ask you not to make it worse. Please vote no.